I get what a time to be alive is my opening not more apropos than right now. Here we go.
Your falling face first in the ground. Don't want nothing, but I see you. A faded place, a love I found. How you Hi, thank you guys so much for being here. I did not anticipate doing this at all today, but behold, a blessing from the Lord. So, I'm not here to do a full life history of Lieutenant Colonel Michael Aquino. If you're not listening to Subliminal Jihad, I would ask you to maybe reevaluate your life decisions up to this point. Just kidding, but really, they have done a fantastic job about Lieutenant Colonel Michael Aquino. So I would highly recommend going and listening to them. But fortunately for you guys, I have a whole newspaper archive subscription. So, what prompted this? You might ask. Am I just crazy and I want to come on here and talk about the satanic panic every day? Sort of. Sort of. And the subject matter is still difficult, don't get me wrong. But am I excited to have an opportunity to debunk some claims that have been made about Lieutenant Colonel Michael Aquino? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready, baby. But like I said, I'm not here to talk about everything. So I got tagged in a comment on Twitter, and I would encourage you guys to go look at Twitter because I don't want to, I don't want anybody to think that I'm asking you to go and trash this person because I'm not. But I got tagged in a comment, and this individual stated that because no charges were filed against Michael Aquino, that Presidio didn't happen. Wow. Wow. So, what did I do? Because I like to stick with the facts, right? I posted a comment of the case, which I will show you guys the case, where the late Michael Aquino filed a lawsuit against one of the parents of the victims at the Presidio daycare, which is a pretty bold move if you ask me. It's really got a brass set, or had a brass set. And stated basically, because I'm not going to sit here and read legal documents, I already told you guys that he was basically upset that the parents went to the police instead of coming and talking to him as a fellow officer, because now it was on his record and on his Army record. Well, guess what? The court didn't agree, and the court did not agree that it should be removed from his record. They did remove everything against his wife, Lilith, but they did not remove it from Michael Aquino's. And I'm going to read it to you guys. Now, the Presidio daycare, I know that I'm probably going to do a disservice to it. And I will probably come back on and talk about it another time. But I'm going to show you guys, because it is a complex case and it is very easily dismissed. I don't know anything about this individual who made this comment, but in the comment, they stated that they wrote a book and they redirected the person asking the question on YouTube before they deleted my comment to his book. So, I obviously have some thoughts about that, but I'll keep them to myself. Let's just look at the facts, shall we? Oh, hey, Tawny, now you're showing up. Hi, Shanna. Yes, that's very true. Please feel free to reach out to me, guys. Really. I want to be corrected if I state something wrong, or, if you disagree with me. Like I said, I'm not the arbiter of truth, but, you know, coming on and trying to absolve the late Michael Aquino, well, I'm happy to refute that because that hasn't aged well. Has any of this aged well? I don't know. It really hasn't. And I, like I said, a blessing from the Lord. I'm so happy to come on and talk about this. So, and Jim Jones and Corpse of Discovery, dang, you guys aren't showing up in my chat. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So, there is a ton of old newspapers about this stuff, guys. So, I'm going to kind of try to go in order because I've just got all these little tabs. That way, I wouldn't lose anything. But the insinuation, I would say, the insinuation that, you know, uh, Presidio was just, no, that's been debunked. Yeah? No, no, it hasn't. So this is absolutely going to be graphic, as one might expect or anticipate, but, you know, I told you guys, I think I tell you guys every day, quite frankly, that people are still out here, right? Talking about this stuff like it didn't happen. And I do have a big problem with that. And I think that I've made that very clear. And I try to be respectful and, conduct myself like a lady as much as possible. But let's get into the good stuff because the newspaper archives are my absolute favorite. So let me make sure I have the one pulled up that I want to. So initially, just as a pretext, this abuse case, Michael Aquino, was not initially named. Now, is that because of his role within the armed services? Maybe. I don't know. So you're going to see another individual named Gary Hambright. He worked at the daycare as well. And he did get charged. Not enough. Not enough. But I'm going to show you guys the clippings with Michael Aquino as well. And then we're going to look at the court records, okay? So that is, what date is this? This is, all right, let's just go ahead and jump in. Whatever. It is what it is. I'm just here to debunk. That's all I'm doing. Debunking. How fun. So, yep, okay. Here we go. All right. So, this is from the San Francisco Examiner, August 14th, 1987. So, some of this stuff had already come out. But the third chlamydia case, the third. Now, right here, Presidio Commander Colonel Joseph Rafferty said the Army was sending letters to several hundred parents who had taken their children to the daycare center in 1985 and 1986, advising them to watch their children for signs of sexual abuse. Several hundred. Oh my. Because that just says that it's the third chlamydia case, right? But that's several hundred. It's quite a bit. You got to think. It's at an Army base. There's a lot of foot traffic going on. Isn't that interesting? And let me see where I want to go next. Because, things got a little hush-hush and things got a little weird. And then, well, everything got opened back up. And this was absolutely not debunked. Okay, let's show this next one. Is that the one that I want? Let me see. Okay, yep, it is. All right, I think I'm getting the hang of this, sort of. Okay, so this is the Berkshire Eagle, and this is August 11th, 1987. So, there we go. That jumped up a little bit, didn't it? It's kind of interesting. And remember Mr. Hambright? Look at that. Look at what that says. Now, it does note here that the charges were later dropped without prejudice, meaning they could be refiled with the discovery of new evidence. So he was an ordained Southern Baptist minister. And in this publication, he was no longer employed by the Army. Up here, in March, a federal district judge refused to allow Hambright's alleged victim to testify. Why? Because he was only 3 years old. What were the other reasons? They also refused to allow the boy's doctor, nurse, brother, or mother to testify about the child's statements. Hello. Hello. Bueller. Hi. We have a problem. Red alert. Does that seem normal to anybody? Might seem normal if you're here because of the stuff that I talk about. And thank God for the newspaper archives, right? Why? If you have nothing to hide, why? Why wouldn't you let them testify? Because the medical records, they say a lot. They really do. And it's very unfortunate. But let's keep going because we could really talk about this all day. But Tony has a show later and I want everybody to watch that and not me. So let me find some more really quick because I really do got to kind of whittle this down a little bit. So let's jump ahead just a little bit because I don't want to focus on Hambright. He's not the point. Michael Aquino is. Michael Aquino, such a joke. Okay, here we go. The Napa Valley Register, October 30th, 1987. A 3.5-year-old girl. 3.5. Now, if you've never heard of Lieutenant Colonel Michael Aquino, the gentleman on my thumbnail, right here, this will note. He was the president and high priest in a satanic church. Well, what church is that? It's the Temple of Set. And right down here, his wife Lilith, well, that child also implicated Lilith. Now, when you Google, without a VPN, Michael Aquino, you will see a book that he wrote. Oh boy, I don't even remember what it's called. I'm going to have to look it up. We will. I think it's, no, I do. Extreme Prejudice. I'm going to show you guys a picture of him, whatever, but he's got these really stupid eyebrows that he twists up at the ends. And, anyways, it's all about the witch hunt against him and his wife. They were discriminated against for being Satanist. Yeah. And people are still running around peddling this garbage. So let's continue. Let me find the next one that we're going to look at. Okay, so that was October 30th. Let me show you real quick, because this is only a day before, and I kind of wish I would have showed this one first, but let me pull this one up. Here we go. Okay. Tulare Advanced Register, October 29th, 1987. Wow, 58. Here we go. Here we go. Numbers are starting to ramp up, aren't they? Is anyone surprised? I'm certainly not. And again, guys, I will come back and I will go through Presidio because it's sad, of course, but it's also very interesting. Very interesting. Some weird fires at some weird times, all kinds of stuff. And well, I do find that relevant, quite frankly, because he was the head of the Temple of Set. And he was very serious about these things. And like I said, go listen to Subliminal Jihad. Seriously, they're fantastic. Demetrius, your voice, well done. But like I said, guys, y'all got to go listen there. So let's pull up another article because I don't want this to seem biased, right? Like I'm just looking at certain old newspapers that are maybe feeding into a certain narrative because people love to make this stuff political, right? So let's look at something else. Here we go. Okay. San Francisco Examiner, October 30th, 1987. Here we go. All right here. Look what they seized: 36 videotapes, photographic negatives, photo albums, cassette tapes, and photos of costumes, masks, and stars. Wow. Not only in connection with sexual molestation, but also child pornography. Wow. Wow. Isn't that something? But this has all been debunked, right? I'm just asking a question. That's all I'm doing. Okay, so let me see. Well, you know what? I'm not going to sit here and waste everybody's time clicking through the newspaper archives. Let's get to the good stuff, okay? Because what happened, as you saw, the police found quite a bit of evidence, quite frankly. And I think at the end of the day, because they reopened the case in January of the following year, and I think Gary Hambright was only charged with the abuse of a single child. He did later pass away from AIDS. It's very unfortunate for everyone involved. But I'm going to show you guys the lawsuit and the results of that lawsuit because I think that that explains everything. Because this is coming from the Army themselves, why they are not going to remove this from his record. And actually, I'm also going to show you guys the recent FOIA release on the FBI vault, just so you guys can see it too. Let me pull up the share screen since I'm using a new browser. Hold on one second. There we go. Okay. Window, entire screen. Well, that's not what I want. Sorry, guys. Hold on. And, this isn't going to work, is it? Nope, it sure isn't. Hold on. Hold, please. We're moving everything over. I was trying to be smart and open it up in another browser because my computer crashed right before I got on. And I thought, wow, I am literally just out here fighting demons. Go me, right? Doing the Lord's work. But it very well just could have been because I had too many things open. Who knows? All right, so let's close this. Let me pull back up where we were at in FOIA because it's really not too deep in there. Color me surprised. Let's see. Yeah, nope, we're going to go a little bit further than that. Okay, we're almost there, guys, I promise. There we go. Okay, so Justia, my favorite, and Shanna Law Nerd, if you guys see her in my chat, she's got the legal brain. So anybody that wants to refute Justia, I would direct you to her because she agrees with me that it's a great resource. Here we go. Okay. Michael Aquino. February 26th, 1992. That's when this was decided. And again, you guys can Google this. It is out there, but just going to read this little part right here. Although the SFPD, San Francisco Police Department, discontinued its investigation of the Aquinos in September 1988 for lack of sufficient evidence, the CID continued and in August 1989 issued a report of investigation designating both Aquinos in the title block of the report and describing the various child abuse and related criminal offenses investigated. The report concluded that the investigation was closed because all further leads involved adults who refused to cooperate, and the applicable 3-year statute of limitations had expired in June of 1989. I think that the reason why is very important. Okay, down here. January 31st, 1990, the Aquinos requested that the CID remove their names from the title block of the report. While the CID deleted Mrs. Aquino's name entirely, on the ground that the identifications of her by the children interviewed were inadequate, it did not delete Lieutenant Colonel Michael Aquino's name. The CID also removed from the report charges arising out of allegations that Aquino made against CPT Adams Thompson. That's the man, the father of the victim, that he filed. The audacity of this man, y'all. And that last statement. All the child abuse charges remained because the evidence of alibi offered by Lieutenant Colonel Michael Aquino was not persuasive. Isn't that interesting? Now, let's read a little bit more. Because, of course, Aquino's not going to give up, right? He's going to keep going. Yeah? So, I'm not going to read this whole thing. Right here. There was sufficient evidence from which the Army decision maker could determine that probable cause existed to believe that Aquino committed the offenses, and that therefore the Army's decisions to create the report and not amend it were not arbitrary or capricious. And Aquino abandoned his claim for damages. So, hopefully I read all of that correctly, because I hate reading legal documents out loud. That's why I don't like to do it here. But do we all understand? Yeah. Aquino didn't win anything in court. His name was not cleared at all. At all. And the audacity of that man to go and sue the parent of a victim because he just thinks that he's the authority on something. Man, I'm having to say that a lot when I come on and talk about this stuff. Isn't that strange? Let's see who's over here. I just saw Tony's comment just browsing. Yeah, I got to show you guys Aquino before I hop off of here. Trying to be like Anton LaVey. Gross. He was way more serious than Anton LaVey. He was a complete nightmare. Potatoes over feathers. I don't know what that means. All right. Oh, see, here's Shanna Law Nerd. Yes, Justia is fantastic, and it's free. Oh, thank you. I don't know military speak, so thank you, Shanna. You're the best. You're the best. So, I'm going to show you guys really quick the FOIA release, because there was a huge celebration on Twitter for all of us parapolitical nerds when it finally came out. It's very exciting. And obviously, most of it is redacted. Color me shocked. Color me shocked, really. But I'm going to show you guys just the main title page where it shows some of the specific things that they were looking at. And then I'll show you this man's eyebrows and let them haunt you as they have haunted me since I saw them. Because he's a nightmare of a human being. And the fact that anybody goes out there and defends this man is beyond me. I have to be honest. This person deleting my comment, and I've gotten a couple messages leaving other people on red or saying that Aquino, has been absolved in court. Well, prove it. Prove it. And I will happily retract, because I have not seen a single thing that has absolved Michael Aquino at all, whatsoever. I think that he threw on his little, chubby Count Chocula costume and twisted up them brows and saw an opportunity to, be a little overdramatic, a little theatrical, and then play the victim. Pull out the old discrimination card. Because he does look like a chubby Count Chocula. Seriously. And I try not to be mean, but I don't care. It's Michael Aquino, and he's no longer with us, even though I would argue he's still waging mind war from the grave, yeah? Because we're here having to talk about this. So this is the FBI, the vault. The vault. So many beautiful things in here. So up here, August of 87. And like I said, we're not going to go through all of this, but crime on a government reservation. So that would be an added charge. Child molestation, sodomy, oral copulation, unlawful intercourse. Wow, 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 wow. So we get it. We get it. We all get it, right? Yeah, we get it. Um, I'm happy to be wrong. I want people to understand that. I don't pretend to be the arbiter of truth. I show you guys where I get everything so that if someone catches something, then I can be corrected. However, I think that Mr. Aquino's tenure has been well established and none of this stuff has aged well. Because eventually, and I've talked about it before, I'm absolutely going to talk about, the life of Michael Aquino as much as I can, his role, alleged role in Iran Contra, as well as the Franklin scandal. But I'm not here to do that today. I specifically just wanted to address this claim that is being discussed apparently on a stage with an audience. Wow. I imagine that people paid for that. Because it looked like a pretty nice setup. And again, this individual states that they wrote a book. So please, absolve this man with records, not with claims about the satanic panic and how it's feeding into a narrative like QAnon. Please. Because there are, and I will acknowledge it, because it's real crazy. There are some really crazy claims about Michael Aquino and like QAnon stuff. Like that Michael Aquino was on the board of the False Memory Syndrome Foundation and that Alan Dershowitz was his lawyer. And I'm like, no, 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 no. That's where they take little kernels of truth from things that were going on at the same time to just kind of, throw a wrench in everything. And that's why I show you guys where I get my stuff. Because that would be really insane, wouldn't it? It would be really crazy. But the truth is still just as dark. Just as dark. So let's find old Aquino, old chubby Count Chocula, real quick. And then I will let you guys go. And we can all determine if the late Michael Aquino. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I am like I said, it's a blessing. It's truly a blessing, but I'm sorry. I can't take this seriously. I really can't. Whew. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I promise. I'm really not. But I just can't believe that people like, still go out here and try to absolve this man in the court of public opinion. Do you think that people don't know how to read? I mean, really? Because it's not just me. Like I said, Subliminal Jihad. They do an incredible breakdown of Aquino. Those guys are on another level. And there's so many other shows that talk about him too. Oh, man. Man, oh man. I'm going to have to get Michael Aquino's books and we'll look through them as well because I'm just kind of having fun right now, honestly. I needed a laugh. So thank you. You know who you are. Thank you for deleting my comment and prompting a little uprising, sort of, on Twitter, where, I said, should I go on and talk about Aquino? And my Twitter homies, my ride or dies on Twitter, said, absolutely. Absolutely. So thank you. I did need a laugh. So I think the most notable picture that people will recognize the late Michael Aquino from is going to be this one. And like I said, there's a ton of weird theories out there about him, but I don't want to sit here and deal with any of that. Look at him. Look at him. Look at those eyebrows. Who told him that that was a good idea? Oh, is he gonna fly away? Is he gonna fly away back to like his bat cave or something? I don't know. I really don't know. Um, and I don't feel bad for mocking him. I'm sorry. I try to never be that way towards people, but this guy? Well, I think that he can take it. And let's show you a younger photo too. So I don't know if you guys have seen him on the Geraldo series. I've got a lot of the pictures or videos on my Instagram, but I'm going to show you guys just a little clip. That way you guys can see a younger Michael Aquino. And no, his eyebrows didn't change. They've always been the same. It's quite silly. But this won't open. It says that the file's not working, so I'm just going to show you guys like right there. Whoop, that's not what I want. There we go. Look at him. He's so discriminated against. It's a witch hunt. Oh, oh man. Look at that hair. I mean, it's a tight trim, but them brows, mm-mm. No, sir. No, sir. Stay dead. Quit waging mind war from the grave, please. Please and thank you. Your services are no longer needed here. Truly. Man, what a time to be alive, y'all. What a time to be alive. So, clearly, I have some work to do in, getting my Aquino presentation together. And again, please refute me. I would love to be wrong. I really would. And I would also like to point out, because I do feel that it's necessary, because my boy just don't get treated right all the time. Uh, you know, Postmortem. And yes, I did dress goth today. Trying to stick with the theme, right? But Program to Kill, y'all. David McGowan. Presidio's in there. All of it. All of it. All of it. So that's the book that I would recommend. That it's not that I don't think I'm smarter than him, but that I have fact checked and I've taken you guys along for the ride. So that's the one that I would recommend that you buy to look at these things from an unbiased and interesting perspective that maybe you might not have thought of before. And, well, I'm not going to sit here and just laugh in front of the camera all day, but I'm going to off camera. So, thank you guys for letting me know. Thank you so much for tagging me in the post of the screenshot where this individual absolves Michael Aquino. You can go look at my Twitter, it's on there. And we'll see. We'll see if there is a refutation. And if not, because my experiences as of late is getting ignored, well, then I guess I got my work cut out for me for a while, because we can come at this from a million different angles, can't we? Because this is also like around the time of McMartin. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm going to go there. We're going to go there with all of it. So thank you guys so much for being here. I